Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Psycho's Platters, sponsored by Coffee and Wish It Was Waffle House. Doing it, but that's okay. Listen, I hope everybody has had themselves a great week of crate digging and life in general. Welcome to episode 97 of Psycho's Platters. Yeah, inching ourselves way to 100. I have to thank all the views and the subscribers that have been building momentum slowly but surely. I'm really happy about all this, and I'll mention more when we get to the shout outs here. This episode here, I decided to try to just basically wrap up some more of the LPs that I picked up. These ones would have been over the last 2 months, okay? Just some odds and ends and things. And then I'm going to show you a special three-part thing at the end, okay? Starting off with all of these albums pretty much were about 25 cents to a buck a piece in different sources. Horselips, The Man Who Built America on DJM Records from 1979. This is the front. This is the back. Now, Horselips, I barely have ever heard of this band. All right. Realistically, though, they're an Irish Celtic rock band that started in 1970 and pretty much retired in 1980. In certain music circles, they are known as the fathers of Celtic rock. So I just, like I said, I haven't had a chance to listen to this yet. This one's from 1979, towards the end. Like I said, they retired in 80, but they did get back together for a pair of reunion gigs in Ireland in 2009. This next one here, do you like Floyd? I like Floyd. How about Solo Floyd? I never saw this one before, from 1978. Richard Wright's Wet Dream. This one here is a gatefold. This cover was produced by Hypnosis, which of course did several Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here and all the other good stuff. Now, on this particular album, not only, of course, do you happen to have Richard Wright, of course, all over this thing, and he produces it. This is from 1978, so shortly before The Wall was getting ready to get started. You also have guest appearances of Mel Collins, formerly of King Crimson, Snowy White, who was Pink Floyd's tour guitarist during the Animals tour, if I remember correctly, in 77, 78. Snowy White would, of course, go on to Thin Lizzy afterwards. And Reg Isidore, if I remember correctly, he also drummed for Robin Trower at one point or another in his career. This next one, kind of neat. I don't have too many Ventures, but from 1970, the Ventures 10th anniversary album on Liberty Records. This is a gatefold, and it's also embossed on the front. You can never have enough Ventures albums. I'll show you one of the albums, though, okay? Because it's special labels from Liberty. But it looks like that. Kind of neat, I think. And great shape. I mean, never been played. This next one here, a very first Junior Walker album, Hot Shot from 1976 on Soul Records. Label looks like that. And of course, if you know who Junior Walker is, he's the one that does Shotgun. I can't sing it, and I'm not going to try. One of my favorite 70s guitar rock bands. These guys do not get enough credit, in my opinion. And any time that I can find an album from these guys, dirt cheap, I'm going to snag it. I'm talking about Wishbone Ash. If some of you people do not know who Wishbone Ash is, go find out. Go start with the Argus album from 1971-72, maybe also followed by Pilgrimage. Go dig up those two, original Decca label pressings, preferably, okay? This one here, to my knowledge, the first live Wishbone Ash at the time, 1973 live dates. This is a double gatefold. This is what it looks like on the inside. Now, of course, this was on MCA because, well, Decca turned into MCA by 73, 72, 73. So you're going to have your original pressings on the Rainbow label MCA, okay? You know, it's really, really cool. Wishbone Ash, in their heyday, late 60s to about 74, 75, fired on all cylinders. They were fantastic. I had the pleasure to see them, I want to say it was 2000, oh, when was it? 2004, 2005. They came to a small club in Poplar Grove, Illinois, which that club no longer exists. Um, Believe it or not, I mean, okay, they maybe had, oh geez, maybe 50 people that night. That was it. Andy Powell is the only original member left in this lineup of Wishbone Ash. Martin Turner, the bass player, owns Martin Turner's Wishbone Ash and plays Europe and all that era, okay? The best stuff on here, honestly, The King Will Come, Warrior, Throw Down the Sword. Those are straight from Argus. Beautiful stuff. If you could find this, get it. You will not go wrong on Wishbone Ash's live dates. This one was the first Atlantic album that I found, though. Wishbone Ash Locked In. This one here from 1976 on Atlantic. Almost all the original lineup except Laurie Whitfield comes in on guitar around mid 74 and stays around, if I remember correctly, till the end of the decade. This one, of course, is on Atlantic, so you're looking at your typical Atlantic label like that. Okay. This one I got for shits and giggles. I thought this was kind of funny. This was some bar band in the mid 1970s. It even says recorded live at the Hi-Ho Club in Boise, Idaho on Wested Records. Okay, I'm assuming here it says here. I'm gonna read this little bit here to you real quick. It says, "When I heard the name of this album was the Western Edition recorded live, almost, I said to myself, that's it. Believe me, this is it, and always will be as long as Joe, Jerry, and Dan keep singing. Three guys who do anything for just about anybody, and they show it in the music they sing. And this, their first album ever together, is a collection of songs that tells you all you need to know about the way they feel. From Neil Diamond's Play Me, Hellboy, to the beautifully arranged Ron Mason's song Grow Old With You. Listen, and I know you'll like these guys, even though you've never met them. I've listened, and I've met them, and I still like them." Spencer Burke, KGEM, Boise, Idaho's program director. This is why I got it. Okay, it not only because it was autographed, but yeah, it says live. Well, almost. You see, I know you maybe can't tell, but they got the Hangman's noose on them. Get it? Like they're gonna get hung. I'm just going, oh boy, talk about tasteless, sort of, for 1975. I mean, I get the humor, but boy, oh boy. All right, this last album here that I picked up from 1989. I've seen it on cassette before, but I didn't even know it existed on vinyl. I guess I should know better because Atlantic was one of the ones that stuck around late, at least into 90 or 91 before they stopped. Mick Jones from Foreigner and Spooky Tooth, his first album from '89 here, and his only solo album. He's talking about doing a new one supposed to be coming out, I guess, by the end of the year. If you've never heard of this, I'm going to suggest, I mean, I've heard a cut or two off of it, and I like it so far. This is a star-studded affair. Let me read this, because I had to write all this down, okay? Here's who's on this album in general. You've got Ian Hunter. From Foreigner, you have Dennis Elliott, Jeff Jacobs, and Rick Wills from that time period, okay? Joe Lynn Turner from Rainbow and Yngwie Malmsteen's band. Billy Joel. Ian Lloyd from Stories. Carly Simon. Simon Kirk from Free and Badco, and a bunch of good top quality session musicians like Hugh McCracken and others. I'm telling you, that so far so good. If you can find it, grab it. I'm led to believe that it finally got the CD treatment. Okay, now that's it for the albums per se. But here's the other thing. I gotta show you this just for neat stuff here. I'm at the Goodwill. Now, this is about almost 2 months ago, okay? And usually, you know, I don't find too many of these. Although in this particular store, they do seem to get them a lot. What am I talking about? Laser discs, okay? Whether you have a laser disc player or not, some of these things are still highly collectible. Now, if you know your little history about the laser discs, they got themselves started in the early 1980s, kind of died. It got reintroduced in the mid 90s, courtesy, of course, of the CD popularity and the CD revolution. They were trying to come up with something, obviously, to go up against VHS. Well, you know, Laserdiscs kind of had the right idea. It's just they were a little too big. So you shrink them down to what? A DVD. That's right. So, my friend Scott up north, he collects action, adventure, sci-fi, and horror Laserdiscs when he can. And I have found, and I think I've shown in the past, some music-related ones like the Beatles' Help, an original Japan issue of that. So what did Psyko find for $1 a piece on the Laserdisc front? These are my Laserdiscs. Star Wars. We're talking the mid-90s ones, the ones that got widescreen, THX, the upgraded sound. All of these are gatefolds. And at this time, you know, the difference is, of course, between the old ones and the new ones. There's a new interview from George Lucas and a few extras. These are totally beautiful. These are from 20th Century Fox. They have never, ever been played. Okay? So I saw this, and I'm going, oh, Lord, please, please, please. Empire was right behind it. And then I'm like, uh-oh. And I kept looking, and I'm like, please, 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 there's got to be. There's got to be. And the second to the last one, yeah, I found the whole Star Wars trilogy on Laserdisc. $1 a piece. But double disc each one. How about that for a steal? I think so. All right, guys. I want to mention shout-outs really quick, of course. I want to get to some new subscribers. Thank you. And within the last 2 weeks, jumped up really nicely. I want to thank you to Andrew Cohen, King Foxy Fox, the T, capital letter T, Spider-Man, all in small letters, My Vinyl Bar, Brandon Young, Terry Ledbetter, and Thumpfinger are some of my new subscribers. Listen, thanks for subscribing. You will not be sorry. You'll be entertained and informed. New channels I want to recommend to you guys. Some of you guys will know them, some of you won't. All in small letter, Bike Beer Run 1960. Bike Beer Run 1960. Vinyliciousness. Beninsky 707. And, of course, my friend Rob, Elovox, capital E, small o, capital L, small o, capital V, small o-x. Also, please go like the Penetrators group Facebook page and Slovenly Records. The new 45 is out. You will not be sorry. Buy it, damn it. It's one of the best records of 2015. I'm not kidding. If you like the Kings of Basement Rock, you're going to like this. Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark and Night Owl Lounge with Mike Adams. Sunday nights. Go like their Facebook pages, 6 to 9 p.m. for Wax, 9 to 10 for Mike. Thrifty Music Collectors Group, Tim Smith and Company. YouTube Vinyl Community, Shindig Magazine. I love you guys. See you next week. 3 away. 3 away.